When I was a kid, my Uncle Caleb was the kind of guy who made the dark seem less scary. He was the youngest of the family, having graduated from high school when I was about 10. He introduced me to music that made my heart race. The Doors, Bowie, In Excess. Music that sounded like rebellion and haunting. Caleb had a room in my grandparents' house. The walls were covered in band posters, vinyl records stacked like relics, and a lava lamp that flickered as if it had a pulse. Every spring and summer I would visit him just to hang out with him. He made me feel like the world was big and full of secrets. Good secrets. But over time, life pulled us apart. I graduated from high school. Caleb got married. We lost touch. No fights, just silence. Then one day my mom called. She said, "Caleb's gone." "What do you mean, gone?" "He was sick," was all she said.
Ooh! Ooh!
Years passed before I learned the truth. Caleb had killed himself. No note, no goodbye, just gone. And then the dreams began. At first they were warm, more memories than nightmares. We were back in his old room. The lava lamp was still flickering. He smiled and said, "Want to hear something weird?" We laughed. He played records that shouldn't exist anymore, but they had changed. One night we were in a theater. The screen was static. Caleb was talking, but his mouth didn't match the sounds. The words came out like torn tape, backwards and warped. Another dream. A hallway with dozens of doors, all locked. Caleb knocked, whispering. There was something scratching on the other side, but the worst thing, the thing that haunted me the most, was the bridge. Every dream was the same. A rotting rope bridge, suspended over a black chasm, mist curling from the abyss like fingers. Caleb would sit on the edge of the bridge, staring at the other side. The other side, something faint, a warm light, a house maybe, peace. But the bridge, it writhed, snake. Hundreds of them, coiled and hissing, their eyes like tiny burning embers. Every time Caleb stepped forward, they attacked. Not to kill, but to scare him back. So I did the unthinkable. I stepped onto the bridge myself. The wood groaned under my feet. I bounced just a little. The bridge swayed violently and the snakes went crazy. But then, one by one, they slipped. Fell into the darkness, screaming. Caleb watched, silent. Finally, he stepped forward. He mimicked my bounce. One by one, the snakes fell, until finally, he was across. He turned, smiled at me. I tried to follow, but my legs wouldn't move. The bridge groaned again, but not under me this time. It was inside me. I felt a weight, sadness, guilt, something ancient, anchoring me in place. And then I woke. I'd had that dream for almost 20 years, never told a soul. I began to believe that Caleb was stuck somewhere, not in hell, not in heaven, somewhere in between. Then my grandmother died, peacefully. In her sleep, she was Caleb's mother, the only person who ever understood him at all. After her funeral, the dream stopped. No bridge, no snake, no Caleb, gone. But here's what keeps me up at night. Sometimes, right before I fall asleep, I hear a little creaking sound, like a rope straining, like a bridge swaying in the dark, and every now and then, I still bounce, just in case.